everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video. We are going to talk about, I have most of it here, the Glamlite Happy Hour Collection. I got this collection sent to me as PR and we are going to go through the entire collection. I'm going to swatch it, I'm going to let you know my thoughts, I'm going to do 4 different eye looks, one with each palette, and we're just going to see if this is anything worth picking up or not. And if you haven't been here before, if this is your first video here, hello, my name is Angie. I'm such a lover of beauty makeup. I love everything beauty makeup related. I review beauty and makeup here on my channel just to let you know which ones are worth picking up and which ones might be worth skipping. I especially love colorful things, so if you want to see some more color in a timeline, please do subscribe because I upload 5 videos a week. Okay, so I did get this whole collection sent to me as PR. I don't have like... Oh yeah, I do have the Okay. Let me first get this one. Let me get this out of the way. The lip products came in this little bundle here. I have them. Is this all of them? No, I still have one. They're little wine bottles. I will show you some close-ups of how like the packaging looks, and they come in a gift box like this, and they come in a set, so you can't buy this separately. You have to buy these lip products together as like a full set like this. It is, if I'm not mistaken, 2 liquid lipsticks and 3 glosses. I'll show you some swatches. I really do like the liquid lipstick formula from Glamlite. I think it's a really comfortable formula. It does dry down completely. The glosses are not my absolute favorite, mainly because they are high like impact glosses, and that's not my absolute favorite kind of formula. I do wish that these were sold separately instead. And then we have the highlighters. The highlighters come in a little box like this. I'll show you some swatches as well. In the first video, I will actually be swatching them on my face so you can see. There is a light one that is a pina colada, and then there is a more medium golden one. I do talk a little bit more about these in the part of the video where I'm trying these on. I don't like either of these colors on me. This one is a little bit too deep and golden. This one is a little bit too icy on me. I don't dislike the formula, but it's not my perfect color. For me, the star of the show is the different palettes. These palettes are beautiful, but I kind of wish... Wait, let me get the actual packaging. Okay. I've talked about this before in my haul. If you saw my haul for this month, all of the palettes come in this like plastic packaging. This is not just PR packaging, it's like the actual packaging of the palette. They come like housed in here, like this. And here's the thing. This is just clunky plastic, and it's not aesthetically pleasing. This isn't something you're gonna save. This isn't a collector value. Wow, this is so pretty. I can't wait to like display. This isn't a display piece. So I kind of wish instead that the outside of the palettes had been a little cute. I mean, it's not that they're ugly. They're not ugly. They have the little drink on here. I just wish that they had been spent a little bit more time on making this palette better, because this is a very nice... I like the rectangular palette with the mirror on the inside. I like all things about this because it is... I like cardboard packaging, but you could have made this a little bit more elevated instead of that plastic packaging that literally serves no value other than it's a little bit cool to open it. But yeah, it's just cumbersome and just a little bit too much in my humble opinion. The swatches of these palettes are beautiful. I will say now, after I've used them, I'm gonna do one look with each palette, so I'm gonna try and speed through this. All of these palettes swatch and wear just like Glamlite palettes have done before. I think these are really, really pretty. I will talk a little bit towards the end of which ones are my favorite and how I felt about them. But yeah, I think that Glamlite has a very beautiful formula. It is pigmented and blendable, and it is buildable to a point. It's not the most buildable formula I have. Like, you could have some issues if you start packing too many mattes on top of each other, but I had no issues in this video. And I did blend the darkest purple on top of other mattes in the first look. You'll see that, and there was no patch, at least not something that I could see. So I do think that this is a really nice formula. The shimmers are a little bit of that putty formula. On me, they don't crease like the Beauty Bay formula does. They do tend to crease a little bit after like maybe 6-7 hours, and I can pat them on with my finger. That doesn't bother me as much as it bothers me with the Beauty Bay formula, because on the Beauty Bay formula, it creases within like 30 minutes. It's like... it's too much. I don't mind if it's super like creamy putty formula. If it creases on me after like 6, 7, 8 hours and I need to like look in the mirror once and just pat out the creases, that doesn't bother me. But some formulas that I've tried, I have to do it every like 20 minutes, and that's too much. Like, I can't do that. So for me, I think the Glamlite formula is a really nice formula. I really enjoy it. I wasn't planning myself to buy it because I have a Glamlite palette here at home that I bought that I still haven't tried, and therefore I didn't want to buy it, but she was kind enough to send it my way. I do have a code with Glamlite. My code is Angelica. I will leave it down below. This video is not sponsored though, but yeah. I do have an affiliate code and I do have affiliate links with Glamlite. It isn't sponsored, but I received this thing CPR. I hope I am 100% transparent with you because that's what I want to be. Let's dive into the looks. I don't want this video to be a million years long, but I'm gonna do one look with each palette. We're getting into that right now. Let's start with the wine palette, which is the purpley one. I want to do something. I like the contrast between this one and this one here. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do, but I'm loving the contrast between those. I'm also going to use a lip gloss in Whiskey. Whiskey. This is not the color of whiskey that I drink. Doesn't smell whiskey, or does it? No. Oh, that's pretty. That's a really nice color. I want to use the highlighters as well. I thought I'd do a little try on in this first video. So I want to hold. I'm gonna do one on each side just so you can see the difference, and then I'll just mix them. Oh yeah, this is pretty yellow, but not like a yellow eyeshadow, but it's definitely like a yellow highlighter. Very pretty. Maybe slightly too dark for me, so this would fit you more if you are a medium to a deeper skin tone, because I really think that since this seems to have a pretty transparent base, I don't see any cast, at least not in real life, but it is slightly too dark for me. I do think that you can get away with this if you are darker than me, definitely. I am wearing I probably won't list all the different foundations that I'm wearing just because it's going to be too much in the description box, but I am wearing the Light Wonder from Charlotte Tilbury in 6 medium today, just for reference, and I think that this is just slightly too deep for me. Oh, I used it on both sides. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. But I'll put the other one and I'll put it more. Oh yeah, you can definitely see the difference. Do you see how much more icy that is than the yellow up here? I mean, you can see the difference. How when I mix them, it really, like, this is a pretty icy highlighter, and I'm pretty sure that you can get away with this if you have a fair skin tone. Because yeah, that's pretty icy. And again, I don't think that they have like any kind of undertone. Like, I don't feel like they have a base. It's more like transparent. But yeah, it's definitely one that is more of a golden one, a more yellowy golden one, and there's one that's a little bit more icy. I think I'm actually gonna start with Merlot. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start with Merlot and we'll just see where this brings us. Oh boy, this picks up intensely. I wonder if I'm gonna get fallout now. I did tap off my brush a bit, but that really did pick up. I mean, that's usually a good thing though. It means that you're gonna get some pigment on your eyes. I'm not being too thorough on like blending or anything. When I begin my looks, I usually just plop the colors on and get the shape the way I want it, and then take it from there. I do love that color though. I love a good berry. Good berry is just so wonderful. Okay, I put some under my eyes as well, and I have blended it out a little bit with this brush that does not have any additional product on it. And I will say, I really like it. I think, like I said, I want to use this one, and I kind of want to... Are you gonna be mad at me if I do an all matte look when there's so many pretty shimmers? But maybe other people are using the shimmers, right? I want to use this one. Just the pastel one that's a little bit more warm than the one I'm going to use after. I'm going to use this one, and on the same brush that I used to blend out, I'm taking, it's called Earthy, and I'm just gonna drag a little bit on the edge to soften this up just a little bit more, and then I will go in again and deepen up this again. Just by going back and forth like this, I can get a little bit more of a seamless blend. Like, I'm not trying to get perfect, but like just a little bit more seamless, so it ends up being something like this instead. I'm gonna use this one that's called Vintage, and I'm just gonna take a little bit, and we are gonna see if we can add a little bit out here and blend it into the berry just to get, yeah, that looks really pretty, just to get a little bit of depth out here. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this Fine Taste, which is this more cool toned, like lavender lavender pastel, and I'm just taking it on a bigger flat brush, and I'm just gonna see how pigmented this is. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm a genius. Genius at work. Genius at work. Wow, I love that. Okay, I'm just gonna pack this all over. I'm gonna gently fade it into the rest. I'm gonna put something in between here to bridge it. I think I'll do it in the corners too. Okay, I'm just gonna take a little bit of the darkest, the vintage, and I'm just gonna blend that out here in the outer corner. And then I'm taking a little bit of the Merlot, which is that berry shade, and I'm just gonna bridge it just so we get some... There's a fly. Just so we get some kind of edge here that's not too sharpy. I say as I create an even sharper line, but listen, I'm doing the best I can. Doing the best I can. The look is done, and I have to say, I'm a genius. Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit humble, but I really thought that these two shades were gonna look so pretty together, and I really think they do. Don't forget when you do monochromatic looks to play up cool tones versus warm tones. Really play it up, because it can turn into something really fun while still being all purple. And some of course can be a little harder, but if you do a cool tone green like crease and then like a yellowy lime chartreusey like lid, that could also be super cool. And I will never get tired of the red and pink combo, and that is also playing with like contrast but still within the red sphere of colors. I'm not going to be this chatty throughout the next 3 looks because I'm just gonna go on about my day, but first impression about the quality, really nice quality, really like this palette, really enjoyed this look. Now let's get into the next one. I'm gonna do something with the chocolate martini. I really want to play with this one that's called Happy Hour. It's like a purple shimmer that I feel like is a really fun addition to this brown theme. I'm gonna start with this one that's called All Night, and I'm gonna deepen it up with dark chocolate. I'm already wearing the rum liquid lipstick on my lips, if you are wondering, and I'm actually wearing my PJs. I am going out while I'm meeting my family. I'm going to my niece's 2-year-old birthday party, so I thought, why don't I wear the neutral look for that? Not that my family cared if I showed up in drag, to be honest, but since neutrals aren't my absolute favorite, at least now I get to wear like more colorful looks in the other videos that I film. But I will feel pretty in neutrals today, I'm sure of it. It's just not something that I reach for on a regular. This one goes on really nice. It's like almost like a pinky purpley beige neutral. It's definitely got a pinky purpley undertone, even though I would definitely say it's like a brown. I'm gonna try and not make this like too smoky, because it's like so typical me to make things like super dramatic. But listen, it's like 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Maybe I don't need to be like full on like stage makeup. Maybe I can chill. I did the same colors like the 2 mattes under my eyes as well, and now I'm just gonna go in with this one called Happy Hour all over the lid. This is by far the easiest way to make a smoky eye. Do a middle brown or a middle color, something mid-tone in the crease, blend it out on the upper part, then put something a little darker but still matte in the crease and outer corner, so you have a gradient, and then you put a dark shimmer all over your lid. It's going to be so much easier to blend out if it's a dark shimmer on your lid. A smoky eye with a dark shimmer is a lot easier to perfect than a smoky eye that's all matte. Because when you do this, it's still going to be a smoky eye, but it's just easier to perfect because it is easier to fade out and make a shimmer look more perfected than it is a matte. There isn't actually an inner corner highlight in this palette except this like light gold shimmer, and that's not exactly what I want to use. So I'm gonna finish all of this up and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you what I want to pick for this look. I want to use something that's a little bit pastel for my inner corners. I did use the Prance eyeliner in my waterline by Colourpop. It is unfortunately discontinued, but I love the little pop of blue. And this is my favorite like liner for the waterline. I'm gonna use actually the Trio Chrome by Natasha Denona, but there's like an almost white pastel lavender here, and I'm gonna use that one for my inner corners. This actually has more pigment than I remembered. I need to bring this palette out again. I'm gonna mix it with the even lighter one. That has more pigment than I remembered. It's not as bright as I remembered. Okay, I'm gonna go over this with some matte white, but just wanted to have something matte and bright in my inner corners. This isn't really that bright though. I'll go over it with a little bit of white, but I like the look. I am gonna put on some lashes and that's gonna be the finished look. Okay, so that is the finished look. This is me wearing my easy smoky eye with my PJs, no jewelry, no nothing. I need to fix that because we are heading out the door in 20 minutes. But I mean, I feel pretty fierce. Is this too much for a children's birthday party? Maybe. Not in my family though. I hope this was helpful. Let's get into look number 3. Another day, another look. I am wearing the Irish Cream Gloss. Will say, not the biggest fan of this color. For me, this kind of a lightness in the gloss, I want something that's like see-through, and this is like very opaque. But that's just my preference. I do prefer gloss that's not opaque. And this is opaque and it's pretty light, and it's not like my preferred formula. I like their liquid lipsticks better. Just that's my quick review. So we're gonna use this one today, the Margarita. Yes, the Margarita, which is like a rainbow palette. I like the mint aspect of this one, so I kind of want to do mint, blue, pink. I kind of wish there was a purple in here. There's not a purple in this. I didn't realize. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like some in the crease, like mint, blue, maybe this, I think we're gonna do this pink and then go out to the red in the outer corner. Maybe I'll actually start with the red in the outer corner if I can find, where are my good brushes? Not here. I'm taking strawberry, which is the red, and I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna put the colors down first how I want them, but I want a multicolored crease. And since this red, I'm looking at the palette. Yeah, since this red is the darkest color in the palette, this is not going to be a super like dark look. That's just what it is. I'm just plopping the red where I want it, which is out here in the outer corner. Okay, I'm taking the pink watermelon now. I think that's what we're doing. And I'm just putting that next to it in the crease. Very little. Nice and easy, very little. Okay, now I'm taking that blue on the rim, and this is where things can start getting a little bit weird, because I do wish that we had a purple to have in between here. But we are gonna try and make do. I'm just popping it on to begin with. You can see I'm not blending, I'm just pressing it down to the primer so that we have it where we want it. And then I just take off a little bit on my hand, and we are just gonna see what happens if we blend these together. We do get a little purple hue here, and that is good. So we're probably gonna go in between there a little bit with the pink as well, just so we can, oh, I'm so sorry, just so we can fake the purple here. So I'm gonna go in with the pink, and I'm just taking a little bit, and I'm just going on the edge here. That is good enough for me. I'm taking melon, which is the mint, and we're gonna put that all the way into the inner corner with the crease, just building that next to the blue, but not really on the lid. I'm gonna do a little bit of the red under my eyes as well, just in the outer corner, just dotting it on a little bit. And then I'm gonna take this one that's called Blood Orange, which is like almost like a neon peach, and I'm gonna take that one next to it and a little bit underneath. Let's do some shimmers. I kind of want to do the pink one out here and then the mint one on the inner side. So let's start with the pink one. It's called Pink Lemonade, and we are gonna start with that one over here. And this is the mint shimmer. I'm gonna put that in the inner part and a little bit up here, like a crescent moon kind of a shape. Just gently blending it into the pink and just fading it into the crease. So it's something like this. I actually think that that's really pretty. It is dying to have a little depth out here though. So I actually might bring something in because I really love looks that have a little depth. And I mean, I am the one that's supposed to be wearing this all day, so I will bring something in here, I think. I'm also bringing a little bit of this mint into my inner corners. And I think I'll take a little bit of this, like brighter pink. It's called Prickly Pear. And I think I'll just bring a little bit of that one just here. Just to have something a little bit different. Because I like having, I don't know, I just love playing with all of them. All the colors. I'm just going to be using a little bit of the black from the mini Xenon palette. And I'm just taking a small brush. This is actually, ooh, there's a hair here. This is actually the same brush as I use for the pastels. But I'm just taking a little bit of the black. And I'm, like you can see, I just boop, boop, boop. Like I dipped in. And I'm just going to be blending a little bit of shade out here. Because I'm sorry, but this look is dying for a little dimension in the outer corner. I put some color in my waterline. I put pink in the outer corner and mint in the inner corner. You don't have to commit to one color. Experiment a little bit with like fun, colorful liners, using more than one color in case you maybe are not like in this. If you don't want to have this eye color, you can still have different colors in your eye, like in your waterline. It doesn't have to be one color. You don't have to commit to one. This is the finished look. I feel very pretty and colorful and dramatic without it being too like dark. I love the clash of the mint with the red. It's very different. I don't think I've ever had a makeup look like this before, and that's fun. That's fun to me. So yeah, that was the look with the Margarita palette. Let's get into the last one. That's gonna be the green one. You know which one I'm talking about. I have been using one of my favorite eye primers for the past 3 looks, which is the Sigma eyeshadow base stick. I will link that one down below. But today I'm gonna use the Icing, which is the Icing eyeshadow base, and this is the Glamlite formula. I have the classic vanilla, which is not the white, but it's like 1 shade up, and then I have buttercream, which is like 2 shades up from white. I think both of these are gonna be too light for me, but I thought we'd use this with the last palette, which is the green palette, just to see how I feel about this formula, because I didn't want to review a new eyeshadow palette and a new like eye primer formula at the same time. But I thought, now that I know that I really do enjoy the eyeshadow like formula, I might as well use it with this new primer, and we'll see. So this is the buttercream one. I'm using it with a Refer 32. This is one of their new brushes they came up with for holiday. I really like this one for like eye primer. I think it's so good for that. It's probably really good for cream shadow as well, if you are a cream shadow lover and you don't like using your fingers, because it is like soft but still like dense. It is such a good like happy middle between dense and soft. It works really good with creams. So I have been enjoying it for primers. I'm also using the new crayon by Linda Hallberg. She's coming out with some new crayons that are extra creamy. They are meant to work extra good for lips, but you can also use them as blush. I'm having a little bit as blush here and then a bit of her Glam palette on top. This one is in the shade Dusty Pink. It is the shade I have on. It is very creamy. It is supposed to set down, so you can actually use it as eyeliner as well. I don't know about that yet, and I did have some lip gloss under, so I don't think it's gonna set down on my lips due to that, but I will report back on that formula as well with time. It was very creamy going on, and it's the only thing I have on my lips. Okay, I want to do something olive. I mean, this is the Dirty Martini palette. I think I'm gonna use this one in the outer corner. I'm gonna use this one in the inner part of my crease, and then I'm gonna use this one and then this lightest one here. So I'm tapping off my brush a little bit, but I did get quite a lot on here. And we are gonna start just with, you see, small circular motions. I'm just pressing it in to the primer, getting a feel for how this primer is. Putting some more on, tapping it off. I mean, this is a very dark shadow. I do want to load my brush now that I'm just pushing it in like this, but I also don't want to get too much on my brush because it's going to end up being a little bit of fallout. I feel like the primer does work, or like it feels a little bit like the Juvia's Place primer, just how shadow adheres on it and how you can blend on it. They have a similar feel, just like initial thoughts. I think I'm gonna put some of this under my eyes as well. It's time for the lighter one. I am gonna start under my eyes. I wonder how, is that a little fiber or hair? Nobody knows. I'm gonna start under my eyes because I just want to see like how light it is. Oh, that is a really pretty, not pastel, but like a little like pea green, but like a softer pea green. I don't know, like a avocado ice cream. What do you think about my descriptions? 10 out of 10? I'm also doing some of that here, and I'm gonna bridge that together with the darker shade so that it is green in the crease all the way, but just a little lighter on the inner side. I really like that color. This is also a very easy way to do like a two-tone crease. Just a lighter color here and the darker color in the outer corner, and then just meet them in the middle. It doesn't have to be more than that. This is the darker one of the two shimmers that I showed you. Ooh, that is pretty. The one that's called Olive Lover. Oh, that is so pretty. I really like that one. I do spray my shimmers. I spray all my shimmers almost always. If I don't spray my shimmers, I will let you know. I basically will let you know when I don't spray my shimmers. And it's more that I like my shimmers to be able to be painted on like paint. I want to be precise with them, and I also don't want any fallout. And I feel like I'm able to be precise and also minimize fallout when I spray them. I just spray with whatever setting spray I have. Today it was the Kiko Fruit Explosion, but whatever I have basically. So I'm putting this on the outer half of the lid, and I'm gonna use a little bit of the detail brush and some of that dark green. And I'm just gonna fade a bit here. I'm just dotting on to get a little bit of a fade. But yeah, that is really pretty. I am a big fan of how that shimmer is looking. Very, very sexy. And now I got some fallout of the matte green instead because I'm a monster. But yeah, wow, I really like that. Okay, let me actually change that up. Clean this brush. I'm just using one of these color switches, and I'm taking the one that's called Vodkatini, and we're gonna put that in the inner part. It's not like super lighter, but it's definitely lighter. And I'm just painting that on. Yeah, there is a little bit of a, there's not like a super striking difference between the two, but it's definitely lighter. So I'm gonna have the light here, and I'm also gonna blend, yeah, now you can definitely see it. What for the inner corner? I don't know if I want any of these in my inner corners. You know what, let me put some mascara on and something for the waterline, and we'll figure out how come none of these, I think all of these palettes look so beautiful, but none of them have something that I want to have in my inner corner. Interesting. You know what, I think I'm just gonna do a matte white in the corner. I'll just find something, some mascara, something for the waterline, and you can see how it all ends up. This is the finished look. I really like it. It's a pretty simple green look. Should I have gone more out there? I feel like I took the safe way out with all of these palettes. If I'm sorry about that. Okay, I just wanted to wear all the pretty colors. Oh, to be fair though, I did go pretty out there with the Margarita palette, and I did a bit of a different one with this one. It is what it is. I do really like it though. I'm gonna be honest with you, I like the purple one the most. And the main reason why I like the purple one the most, it's not because this is like better quality than the other ones. I think all of these have really good quality. I really do like the Glamlite formula. The reason why I like this one the most is that this one goes from really dark to really light. It has like cool tones and warm tones, and it even has like a pop of this almost like, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of like a bronze, but I do like the pop of something else in here. I feel like this is the palette that has like the most options. But obviously like this one is the one that has the most options because it is like a rainbow palette, but I feel like this one goes really dark as well, and that is something that I appreciate. So just color scheme wise, I think I like this one the most. The lip products from Glamlite, I like the liquid lipstick formula from Glamlite personally. I think it works really good for me. The lip gloss formula is not my favorite just because it is one of those like more high opaque formulas, and that's not what I really like. I think the highlighter formula is really nice. It doesn't have those like chunky sparkles in there. This is not a glittery formula, but if you come close you can see some sparkle in there. It's not like one of those wet look like highlighters that don't have any visible sparkle, but I wouldn't say that it's a glittery formula. Neither of these colors are perfect for me though. The Mimosa one is slightly too dark for me, and the Pina Colada is slightly too icy for me. That's just a personal preference though, like what I like in highlighters, but I don't dislike the formula at all. But for me, the palette is definitely the star of the show, and personally I like the wine one the most. Even though maybe that was the one that represents the drink the least, I still think that it's the prettiest one. I will leave the info to all of these things down below in case you're interested, together with my discount code, which is Angelica if you want to save. I think it's 15% actually at Glamlite. The code is affiliated. All the info will be down below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to see more like me breaking down full collections like this, do let me know down in the comments, and I will see you again tomorrow for a new video. Bye!